Greetings from the beautiful town of Capernaum, or what remains of the town, the ruins of the town. I am at the north of the Sea of Galilee, and this is the area where Jesus did most of his public ministry for the 3 years after he was baptized in the river by John, and then before he went to Jerusalem and was crucified. So these are the ancient ruins of the town of Capernaum. I'm going to give you kind of just a little tour around here, and then I'm going to walk along the Sea of Galilee down to Tabgha, where Jesus performed the miracle of the multiplication of the loaves and the fishes. So, as I say in all these videos, I'm not an expert. I have just done research. I've overheard people talk about these things. So I'm just going to be sharing the things that I've researched, my understanding of things. Feel free to look anything up. I might not get everything 100% correct, but just neat to give you, I thought, a sense and for me to have a memory of this beautiful place. So, oh no, the door is closed. I was trying to do this in time to get up into that church. That happens here. Oh well. You can see, anyway, from that church, you can see inside of St. Peter's house. I'm going to make a short YouTube video about that, and I do have a picture of that. So if you want, look through my YouTube shorts eventually, and I will put that video up. Too bad. It's okay. That happens here. They have services and then they close things. So anyway, okay, I guess I'll start walking maybe over this way. So again, I don't know everything here, but they have the ruins of the old city of Capernaum. And this over here is where the synagogue in Capernaum stood. I think they've built over it since, so this isn't the original synagogue, but it's on the foundation of the original synagogue. And this is mentioned in the Gospels, like Jesus preached here. He gave his famous talk on being the bread of life here in John chapter 6 in the synagogue in Capernaum. He did some healings here. Whoops, almost slipped. So yeah, this is the synagogue here. There was an official of the synagogue, Jairus. His daughter was sick, and Jesus healed her. So yeah, Jesus would have been actually here in this synagogue, teaching, preaching, healing. Here's some ruins of the city. The Mount of Beatitudes is right over there where Jesus did the Sermon on the Mount. So yeah, I think they call Capernaum like the town of Jesus, even though Nazareth is like his hometown. He did spend a lot of time here in this town. I think it's where he called a number of his disciples. Maybe Matthew was called here. Not 100% sure, but I know a number of them. For sure, Peter. So yeah, here you can see just a beautiful view. The Sea of Galilee is gorgeous. So this is the north, Sea of Galilee. Here's some more ruins of Capernaum. Kind of looks to me like houses. I guess it would be mostly houses and maybe, a bakery or something else like that. Those look kind of like stairs. So yeah, that is a big church there. It's supposed to be, I think, shaped like a boat, and it's built over where St. Peter's house is. So St. Peter's house is under there. And they believe, I think, that it became like a church, kind of maybe after Jesus died. And they found ruins of, I think, a church from the 5th century built around here. So they know that that's how they kind of can tell it was something very, very holy. And they've dated it as a house from the 1st century. So I think pretty certain that it's where St. Peter's house was. So Jesus would have stayed in that house probably. He healed St. Peter's mother, maybe some other miracles. I'm not sure if the miracle where someone was lowered through the roof to see Jesus maybe occurred there. It's very beautiful. Like Capernaum, just living in this town would have been so lovely, living by the sea. So I'm so sad I was just a few minutes late in taking out this camera to go up to the top of the top where you could see, but that's okay. Again, go look at one of my YouTube shorts. I've got a video already looking down. So you just look down through there, up there, and it just shows you the inside of the house. But I will go right now and show you the outside. You can see the outside from over here. So there's St. Peter's house right there. It is kind of hard to see the inside. And I overheard a tour guide saying kind of this, it's shaped in an octagon all the way around, and that was a church that was built around. There's some mosaics from the floor. There may have been a few churches built over around this area. Yeah, that's the house St. Peter and probably all the disciples visited at one point. Jesus stayed here. So amazing. I also like to think of these things, of how like probably back then it was just St. Peter. St. Peter wouldn't have thought that 2,000 years from now he will be coming from all over the world, thousands and thousands of people to see his house. Of course, it wasn't because of him, it was because of Jesus, but just an amazing thought, living in this house here. So yeah, again, over top, you can go up and see through the glass and see the inside of the house. I can hear singing going on up there, so probably started their service there. What's really interesting to me is, like, if you look, St. Peter was really close to the sea, his house. See, there's the house, and maybe 25, 30 meters, not quite sure, there's the water. So I'm gonna go down and show there, but it's so windy I probably won't talk when I'm down there. I'll just show you the view because it's really windy. Oh yeah, this is the Sea of Galilee, if I forgot to mention that. This is the map here, and we're right here. This is where we are, Capernaum. So amazing to think this is where the disciples launched off into their boats, where they caught fish, where Jesus walked on the water, he calmed the storm. So, wow, I just got a tree in my face. So many amazing things. you see that person kind of sitting there by the water, that's what I did for a while. Just sit kind of over there and think about what occurred here and pray. It's really beautiful. You can see people out kind of sailing over there. I'm gonna walk down the road over there. There's the Bay of Parables, Silver's Cove kind of over there, and then Tabgha. So just to give you an idea, I'm gonna walk over there. Over there is Tiberias. That's on the west coast. I wondered if I could see the other side of the Sea of Galilee, and I can see in the distance buildings. I don't know if you can see them. But it kind of made me think. I think it said it was 13 by 21 kilometers and maybe like 43 meters deep, the sea. It looks to me as if it's mostly surrounded by a mountain range. Everywhere I kind of look, there's like a mountain range on each side of the sea. There's like a mass going on over there. Oh, I totally forgot to mention, today in the church is the feast of the solemnity of the body and blood of Christ. And in that synagogue that I was just back in over there, that's where Jesus, I think I said that, gave the discourse that he's the bread of life. So today the church honors that. And it's just really special to be here where Jesus said that on this special day. So I'll kind of go over where Peter's house is, and then you can look and see he was very, very close to the water. So yeah, there's Peter's house right under there, and then the water is like right there. The whole city pretty much is very, very close to the water. Capernaum would have been just a beautiful town to live in. And you know, it's funny because I thought Capernaum would have been still like active, people living in it. I didn't realize it was the ruins of an old city. I kind of thought it'd be like Nazareth and Bethlehem, like people still living there, even though they have these holy spots. But no, it's just the ruins of the city. So I think I'm going to leave now. Hopefully that gives you just an idea. Kind of a smallish area. I don't know if there was more and then this is the only area they've excavated, but oh, in that church, I guess it's supposed to be shaped like a boat. Maybe I mentioned it, maybe I didn't, I forget. So yeah, that's the town of Capernaum, the town Jesus stayed in for a number of years. Oh, here's another picture. So yeah, I'm gonna walk from Capernaum to Tabgha. We can see the Mount of Beatitudes, and there was Tiberias. So you can see over here it says Capernaum, the town of Jesus. You know what? I kind of want to get myself in the video here. I hope that's good. Yikes. I don't know if that like took. Uh-oh. You know what? Okay, let me try it one more time. I don't know if that took, but I want to get a picture later on with me there. We'll see if I got my face in there. If not, it's okay. At least I got, you know what, I'll kind of get like a nice shot here of that tree with Capernaum in the town of Jesus. And then I can go back in the video and take a picture of it from the video. All right, so I'm gonna be walking to, as I said, Tabgha. I think it's about a half an hour walk, at least. So if you aren't interested in seeing the scenery, just feel free to fast forward this. Click on the next part. Because probably someone's just going to be walking and not talking. But we'll see. I tend to find lots to talk about. So I might find things to talk about, but feel free to just skip to the next one. That's the Mount of Beatitudes up there. We'll get closer to that. There's the buses up here where people park and then walk down. It's seems very popular here. Today is a Sunday. So there's one church up here that I don't think is open in Tabgha, where Jesus did the multiplication of the loaves and fishes. There's some beautiful flowers up over here. See it along there. In the distance, can you see that there's a dome? It kind of looks like almost like a tree. It's hard to see it's a dome. But then there's a red building, but then just like to the left of it, there's a dome, and that's the Church of the Beatitudes. So that whole thing is the Mount of the Beatitudes. And up high on top, they have a church honoring that. So what happened on that mountain is Jesus gave his famous Sermon on the Mount. I think it's in Matthew chapter 5, where he does a lot of just teaching for the people about tons of different things. About prayer, about not worrying about life, about fasting, different things like that. And then in it, he also gives the Beatitudes, which are something like things like, blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be fulfilled. So I think there's maybe 9, forget exactly. So that church up there honors what happened on that mountain. Although when I was researching, I discovered that it's not thought that Jesus actually gave that sermon right on the exact top of the mountain, more like down the hill, which I'll show you the location we're going to come up to where they think he actually gave the sermon. But I think they said that church was built up there like in honor, because it was still on the mountain, and it's a spectacular view. It is a really gorgeous view from that church. And again, I made like a YouTube short if you want to go look at it, or I'm going to be making one. Don't know when I'll post it. I just took it today when we went up there. Yeah, where I was just reciting the Beatitudes. So I took a bus with a friend I met here at a hostel from Tiberias. We took a bus up to the top of the Mount of the Beatitudes, and then we came down it on a bus and then walked. So I already have walked this path from Tabgha to Capernaum. I think there's a campsite here, or a place where people can park their cars. The bus system runs pretty frequently. Along the shore here, so it was pretty easy to get transportation. There are so many tourists coming, which makes sense. They want to come to Peter's house in the town that Jesus did most of his ministry in. So just amazing, just packed full of tons of tourists from all over the world. Okay, while I'm kind of walking along here, I thought of something else I could share. Around here, very close to here, which I'm hoping to actually go maybe tomorrow or the next day, is the town called Chorazin. And then there's also a town named Bethsaida near here. But I think I'm just going to go to Chorazin. And in the Bible, Jesus said, unfortunately, to these two towns, woe to you, Chorazin, woe to you, Bethsaida. If the miracles that were done in you were done in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented. I think it's something to that effect. I'm saying that from memory. But I think Jesus was saying, like, because he had done miracles in them, and I guess maybe they didn't change their hearts and turn away from sin to God. And so Jesus was like saying, like, basically, it's not good for you. Like, you should have done that. I'm kind of being really nice in saying those words. That's where I was over there. That's Capernaum. And I think Jesus said the same about Capernaum. Woe to Capernaum, because they didn't listen to the message that he was bringing, the peace and love of God. So as I was saying, I knew that these towns were kind of in the area here. Like when I was researching, I was looking at all the different things to do in the area and things that were connected to the Bible. But I stumbled across something that really interested me in Chorazin. So Chorazin is kind of similar to Capernaum. It's in, I think, the Chorazin National Park. And they have the ruins of the city of Chorazin. But what they have there, which is really neat, is something called the Seat of Moses. So that is a chair where Moses, oh my goodness, not Moses, sorry, where the leaders of the Jewish people, the religious leaders, would kind of sit, I guess. It was a chair they'd sit in where they were maybe giving special teachings or showing authority or something like that. So in the ruins of the synagogue there in Chorazin, they found this Seat of Moses, which you can go and actually see it. So I really kind of want to go see that, because that's kind of cool to see the actual seat and what Jesus was describing. And when he said in the gospel, oh, we're coming close to something called the Bay of the Sower, or the Sower's Cove. You know what? Sorry, I'll get back to that point after. It could be actually down here. Okay, just keep that in mind. We can't go through the gate here. Maybe you could at one point. There's like a cove. And I was looking up on the map. And it's somewhere, it's either, I think it is right here. But you know what? It was supposed to be where it turned. Yeah. Oh, the road did turn here. Okay. So yeah, I was looking on the map and the road goes straight, and then where it turned, the cove was supposed to be here. Okay, so anyway, in this area somewhere here, there's like a cove. So it kind of makes like a U shape. And this is the spot where it's believed Jesus gave his parable of the sower. So it's also called the Bay of Parables. I wonder if I walk farther, if you can kind of see it better. Maybe not. But anyway, they've tested that area out, and they've got a boat to sit in that bay. And they said that with someone talking from that boat, no microphones, 7,000 people sitting on the shore could hear that person. Like, this is recent that they've tested that. So it was just showing that Jesus really could have gave that parable while he was out in the boat, and then everyone would have been able to hear it. So anyway, it's somewhere right down over there. I just looked up pictures of it. Oh, yikes. I went through some prickles. So I've got prickles all over my skirt. Oh, well, I'll have to endure the prickles as I walk along. It's not too bad. But anyway, yeah, there's a white tarp over there, and the picture on the internet showed it was close to that white tarp and near like a bunch of some kind of trees. I'm not sure what type of trees those are. Let me just zoom in. Looks almost like mangoes. Anyway, this is a gorgeous view here, eh? So that's Capernaum, the town of Capernaum. Just a gorgeous view of the Sea of Galilee, and that's Tiberias over there. So back to that parable. So Jesus would have got into the boat so the people could hear him easier as he was telling that parable. And the gist of the parable, if my memory serves me correct, is he was talking about how a sower, kind of like a farmer, I guess, went out and was sowing seeds. And some fell on good ground and produced lots, like a great harvest, but some fell into thistles and they got choked, and some got trampled on and different things. And I think his disciples asked him later, what did you mean by that? And he said, it's like the word of God being spoken. And some people who have like a good heart to hear it or try to cultivate that, that's like the seeds that fell on the good soil, and they can really produce a great good in your life. But when you let the cares and worries of this world or other people take that away from you, oh, this is such a beautiful view. Then the word of God can't plant fully into your heart, or it gets taken away. So that parable was said somewhere along here. Surprisingly, don't have like a path you can get down to it easier. Oh well, I'll keep walking and maybe I'll be able to see it better. Anyway, it was somewhere here. Now, I forget what I was talking about before I got off the sower. Was I talking about Chorazin and Bethsaida? Maybe? Yeah, I'm hoping to go anyway to Chorazin to see the seat of Moses, which is close by here. Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to say. Where Jesus talked about the seat of Moses, he said, he was telling the people, like the teachers sit in the seat of Moses. He said, do what they tell you, but don't follow their example, because they don't practice what they preach. So then he used that seat of Moses title there. As I was walking along coming here with my friend, we saw some lizards on the way. Some really big, healthy ones. I also saw a cat. If you've been following along on my videos, you notice that I see cats everywhere. So I saw a cat sleeping in Capernaum. He was so peaceful. Again, I got a little video of that. Oh yeah, maybe they are mangoes, because if you look, those ones right over there, they're starting to turn like red, kind of a red color from green. Sorry, I may be completely wrong, but that's interesting that there's all these trees here. When I was walking originally to here, it was like around noon, which is the heat of the day, which is not a good time to be walking. But it was really hot. It's a little bit cooler. It's still hot. I think at that time it was like a bit over 30 degrees Celsius. So I've been wetting my head, putting like something called a buff on, like wetting it in water. So actually it's still cool. So it's a neat idea I learned. Like you wet it, put it on your head, like under my head, so it keeps my head cooler for longer. And then I wet like my shirt, not entire, but sprinkled water over it, and it's dry now. And I have lots of cool water with me. So yeah, it is hot here. ride on the Sea of Galilee in a boat that they designed kind of wooden, a little bit like looking more ancient, like than a modern boat. So that was a blessed opportunity. Oh, hey, you know what? Maybe that's the cove. Does that look like a cove? Yeah, I think that's the cove. I'm kind of like, yeah, it looks like it goes kind of in. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, that's what it's like here, kind of traveling on my own. But you know what the fun thing about, oh my goodness, you can see it so good from here. That's funny. So I was wrong, it was the cove back there. Oh, whoa, so exciting. This is the cove, the cove, the cove. So let me kind of get in a little bit. Oh, and I walked past here, not even knowing, yeah, this is it. Because I remember that house over there when I was looking at pictures. If you Google the what was it, Bay of Parables or Sower's Cove, you'll see that little house. So yeah, this is it. Oh my heavens, like the way the bushes are, it kind of looks like it's almost like a theater for people to sit. So here it is. This is so exciting. So Jesus would have been out in a boat right there, and then there would have been tons of people along the shores here listening to him. And then I heard that when I was researching this, it also said this is a great area for him to use that analogy because there are a lot of fertile areas, but there are some areas where there are some thorns and thistles and things like that. Yay! Wow! And it's just beautiful here, eh? But as you can tell, like there's a fence right here. So it doesn't look like people can get down, but at least you can see it clearly. Oh, I'm so excited. Sorry. Got caught. My hand got caught. But anyway, yeah, I had thought it was farther than Capernaum. I think they do pronounce it Capernaum here for some reason, but when I looked it up later, I said, oh, it's right here. And we walked past it and didn't even know what it was. Yeah, that's so exciting. Picture Jesus out there on a boat. I wonder how they got it to stay. Probably had to anchor it when he was, and yeah, like I said, here, let me stop one more time. They've tested it out and they've had somebody, I think they said even tourists can do it too, but how do you get down there? Maybe I'll find a way. Not now though, not in this video. But they've had people go out there and they've had people like talk and everyone on the shore can hear. I guess just acoustically it's really, really good here. Oh, sorry. That right there looks like it has kind of thistles on it. So if that fits in with the parable, like the thistles will choke out the good seed. There's could be some thistles too. Going down and visiting it. it. Again, it was something that wasn't very easy to find either, but I found an amazing website. I think it's called seetheholyland.net. I could be wrong. I forget. I have it saved, so I just click on it. But anyway, they have all these details about all these places in the Holy Land that sometimes it's really hard to find, and it's really well put together. So that's how I learned about this site. It looks kind of like, oh, hey, oh my goodness, there's a hole. Do you see that hole in the gate there? A hole and a little path. Huh. You know what? I don't think I want to go down right now, but I'm tempted to come back and go through that hole in the gate there and get close to the bay where Jesus preached from. I will probably do it. I'm kind of like that, eh? As you can probably tell if you've been watching my videos, I'm kind of determined to get to places and will make every effort to do so. So yeah, there's some beautiful birds. Oh, isn't that lovely? Can you see them? It's stunning. Like, it's stunning. It's surreal being here. It's unbelievable, really. It's such an honor, and that's why I'm happy to share it with others. Probably noticed I hardly met anyone yet along this path. When we were coming here, we met like 2 people, but no, there hasn't been a lot of people. Probably most people go on the bus. Maybe back in the day they walked, because obviously they made a path right beside the road. Oh, wait a minute. Heavens. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for stopping me. So that church up there is the Church of the Beatitudes. Kind of from the other side here. And that's the Mount of Beatitudes. But it's more like over there where they think Jesus actually gave his Sermon on the Mount. Not exactly, probably up there. Again, that's kind of like around here. They're trying to piece together the pieces of the puzzle to figure out where everything happened, and that doesn't bother me, actually, even though I like to look into where they think the most authentic spot is. I still, like, even though it may not be, I still really like to just imagine what happened there and pray at that spot, and, and even God understands, even if it's not the right spot, it doesn't really bother me. Because you know what? It could be the right spot, and then I'm at the right spot. Anyway, let me just stop and get a little view here, also in the shade. There. So, I'm not 100% sure where Tabgha is. Just looking up there? No, I don't know. Anyway, we're coming up to it. So here I've got another thing I guess I can talk about. Oh, I forgot to talk about me out on the Sea of Galilee boat. So yeah, that was a really neat experience. Probably similar to one of those boats. I don't know if you can see them over there. Again, I'm gonna make like a short YouTube video just with clips from that journey. But yeah, it was really beautiful. We were out there for maybe 45 minutes. And we left from a little town up north of Tiberias called Genosar. I think that's how you pronounce it. So yeah, we took the boat, and it was just a really beautiful experience to be able to be out on the water that all Jesus' disciples were out on. Jesus was out on, he walked on that water. It was really neat to be there. That may be up there, that with those flags, that may be the church of the primacy of Peter. I can't tell from this side. Looks like a lot of cars are stopping around here. Anyway, we're gonna be coming up to in Tabgha is where they have the church where Jesus prepared breakfast for his disciples and kind of gave authority to Peter. After that, he kind of became head of the group, or he might have kind of been all along a little bit, but that's where they, I think, call it Peter's primacy. And then I gotta keep my eye out for the cave. Okay, so did I explain the cave yet? No. I think I talked about how over here, above this mountain, is where they think Jesus may have actually given the Sermon on the Mount. And there's a cave right up there. It's called Aramo? Oh my heavens. Arosamos, maybe. Oh dear. I'm really not good with pronunciations. But that's that cave. And then it also may be called Job's Cave. And I should have looked it up before I did this. But I was curious because when I saw another map that called it Job's Cave, I was like, was the prophet Job there? Or whatever, not maybe, I don't know if Job was a prophet, but Job from the Old Testament, was he there? But anyway, this cave up here is where they think Jesus went to pray. And you know how I think when it says in the gospel Jesus wanted some solitude and he went away. So I'm thinking maybe this is where he went for the solitude. So I'm gonna go up to that cave. And again, when tourists, I don't think they regularly go here. But I found it out maybe again by that website I told you about, and I was like, whoa, I am going to this cave. And I'm actually coming back to stay in this area. Well, I'm staying in this area for like a week. So I'm gonna come back to this cave and pray here. Because if this is where Jesus prayed in solitude to his Father, Woohoo! This is like dynamite for me, because Jesus prayed here, and then I'm praying where Jesus prayed. So as you can see, it's kind of off the beaten track. You can Google it. It is on Google Maps. But look, like no one's up here. Here's the cave. Oh. Let me see. Oh my goodness. I think I'm kind of tired from all the walking I did today. Here it is. Oh. 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 My heavens. So if Jesus prayed here, this is epic. Epic, epic, epic. I have a little bench here. Oh. Oh. You can sit here. Oh my heavens, I cannot wait to come back here, and it's a little cooler too, and just spend a lot of time in prayer here. So if you look out, you can see the view. And yeah, up here. Oh, hey. Oh my goodness, what? I didn't notice this path. I didn't notice this until now. Maybe if I walk up here, I can kind of see where they think the Sermon on the Mount would have actually been. Oh, Lord, help me up these stones. Oh, wow. Cool. Oh my goodness. Woohoo. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. So this is the location where they think the Sermon on the Mount actually took place. Oh, sorry. Huffing and puffing. I'm not sure which way the people would have been sitting. Probably not down the steep hill. Maybe over here. Oh, thank you, Lord, for helping me find this spot. Beautiful, eh? Wow. Oh, look at that. Just gorgeous. Like, this whole area is stunning. Oh, I'm stuck on a tree. Oh. Woo! Don't want to go too close to that edge. I'm not really good with heights. But yeah, maybe all the people kind of sat along the edge of this cliff. Right there is the Church of the Primacy of Peter. And then maybe that's the Church of the Multiplication of the Loaves and the Fishes. Oh, wow. Okay. This is exciting. You know, I need a drink of water, so I'm just going to put the phone down for a second. Okay, I am back from getting my drink of water here on the spot where Jesus preached the Sermon on the Mount. Water tastes so good when you are thirsty. So yeah, this is where Jesus preached the Sermon on the Mount from. So I'm gonna head back down. And head over to the church over there. It's a little steep. The other where they have the Church of the Beatitudes, it's a lot easier to access. Woo! This one's a little bit harder to get to, but I'm glad that I found this little path. There's also a beautiful kind of waterfall down there. It's kind of hidden. So the hostel I'm staying at, they told me about it and I was down to see it. Here's the cave. I will be coming back to this cave. Oh, one more steep descent. Oh, let's see. Almost. Kind of wish I almost had a stick because they help you when you're going down. Woo! I can't wait to get to someplace cool. It's not too bad. Like I said, I've been drinking water and wearing wet things on my head. But yeah, getting into cool water is just gonna feel so good. Oh. All right, so I'm gonna cross the road here again and head over to the Church of the Primacy of Peter. So again, I'll explain this church. Well, what the church honors, believing that this event happened here. If not, it happened for sure somewhere on this lake. So, but it could have been here. So anyway, it was after Jesus rose from the dead. His disciples went out fishing. I think it might have been Peter who said, I'm going fishing. So they went out and they didn't catch any fish, kind of like this had happened before to them. Maybe when they first were called by Jesus. And Jesus appeared to them on the shore. And I guess apparently at first they didn't really know it was Jesus. So he said, have you caught any fish, I think? And they said, no. And he said, well, put out into the other side or something like that. And then they caught like a ton of fish. And I think it was John, the beloved disciple, who said, oh, it's the Lord. And Peter jumped into the water and swam to the shore. And then they brought the boat in and Jesus was preparing breakfast for them. I forget if he said, bring some fish. But anyway, he was getting breakfast ready. He said, come for breakfast. So as they were sitting there, he said to Peter, do you love me? And he said it 3 times. And Jesus said, Peter said yes. And I've heard it said each time, and I've heard it kind of said that was kind of an analogy of because Peter denied Jesus 3 times. So Jesus was getting to say, I love you 3 times. That was, I think, a thought about that. And then he said, feed my lambs, feed my sheep, feed my lambs, or something to that. So kind of giving Peter that authority as head of the church. So this is where they believe that occurred. I already was here once when I was heading over to Capernaum. And walking through these trees is so cool, temperature-wise and beautiful. You can just tell the temperature change. Ooh, that's nice. Of the Sea of Galilee, sorry, not Capernaum. And then they have a church here. Probably a place where they can have outdoor masses. So yeah, up here is where they think Jesus prepared the breakfast for his disciples, and I can picture Jesus sitting here with a little fire and the disciples coming in, and Jesus asking Peter, "Do you love me?" So yeah, a beautiful location here. So yeah, that's the location here. And the Church of the Multiplication of the Loaves and Fishes is very close by here, like right over there. I'm gonna walk up to it, but like I said earlier, I think it is closed on Sunday. They have a picture here of the popes, kind of all the way from St. Peter. And St. Peter was the first pope, and then all the popes that followed him after that. Oh, I'm glad we're almost to the end. I think this hot weather tires you out more when you're out in it. You can see this is popular tourist or pilgrim destination.
Copritevi le spalle se avete qualcosa.
Sei ancora più
think that building over there is the Church of the Multiplication of the Loaves and Fishes, where Jesus performed that miracle. So you can see it's very close, very, very close to the Church of the Primacy of Peter. Again, I think it's closed, but I can walk up to the gate. You know what? There's a bus up here. I wonder if it was just closed because it was lunch hours. Because sometimes churches close here between like lunch. There's a road, if you see, kind of going up there. That's the road you have to take to the Church of the Beatitudes. You can't, there's a couple cars and a bus. You can't get it just by going, even though it's way back there. There's no path like straight up the hill. You go up that road. So I'm going to be catching where that big white bus is, kind of up there. That's where I'll be catching the bus and heading back to Tiberias. Ah, made it. Whoa, I almost slipped. Oh, wow, hey. Oh my goodness, it looks open. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks open. Wow, thanks be to God. It must have been because of but it looks a little bit vacant. Usually there's probably more people here. I don't know why. Maybe I think I did pass by here around 11:30, 12. Oh wow, okay. This is exciting if it is. So here is where it's believed Jesus performed the miracle when a whole bunch of people came to hear him. Maybe it was after the Sermon on the Mount. Oh my heavens, I should know that. It would make sense because it's so close by. And they didn't have any food to eat. So Jesus asked his disciples, and someone said, oh, here's some sisters visiting. He asked the disciples, and they said, there's a boy here with 5 loaves and 2 fishes. So Jesus said, pass them out. And as they passed them out, they just kept having more and more and more. And they had like 12 baskets left over. So Jesus miraculously multiplied the bread and the wine. Oh my goodness, the bread and the fish, so that everybody had enough to eat. So yeah, this is the church built over where that occurred. And I think I was researching, and there was a church here maybe before where they have a beautiful mosaic from one of the early centuries. That's one of the ways they can tell like this was a special location if a church was built over it. And below the altar here, I read, is where they think there's a rock that they think Jesus laid the original loaves and fishes on before he multiplied them. So I'll see if we can find that. So this could be like the mosaic from the floor from the early church. Oh, so there's the altar over there, and the stone underneath, I think, is where they think the loaves and the fishes were placed. So I'll try to zoom in. Oh yeah, you can see the rock. So that's where they think Jesus laid the 5 loaves and 2 fishes before they were multiplied. Right there. And this is the church built over that spot. Oh, there's supposed to be a famous mosaic too. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. Again, from the early centuries, there's a mosaic of a basket and 2 fish. So I'm so happy that this is open. Yay! This is such a blessing. Oh wow, I thought that bird was real. Yeesh, maybe that's to keep the other birds away. But yeah, so this is where Jesus performs the miracle of multiplying the loaves and the fishes. So exciting. Again, I'm kind of come back here and can pray longer when I come back, just to kind of give an initial. So that's it. Yay.
Oh, this is you have sister.
Where Jesus Christ actually.
Oh, I'm so happy that that was open. Yay. Then I got to show everything I was hoping to show, except for inside St. Peter's house. I was minutes away from when they closed the door. Oh well. Oh, it has like, it's explaining maybe the mosaics here. Yeah, so yippee! So excited that I got to show everything. So I am going to finish here and then catch my bus, go home and probably have a cold shower and drink lots of water. So I hope you enjoyed that little tour of the Sea of Galilee from Capernaum to Tabgha. Sending many blessings. I pray for everyone who watches this in these sites that I visit. So you are here in my heart and prayers, and may God bless you. Goodbye from Tabgha.